familiar with the feeding of the 5,000. You're familiar with him walking on the water. You're familiar with those things, and you understand what it means to be a disciple. You understand what it means to trust in him. You understand what it means to follow him. You understand who he is, what his purpose, his plan was, and what he's going to do the rest of the age. Instead of, I want to serve Jesus, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? Here and now. And I want to tell you, there's a bunch of businesses that have that principle. There's a bunch of people who go to churches and give money and are part of organizations, all for what they can get back. Well, if I put $50 in the plate, the Lord's going to give me 100. Right? That'd be better than the stock market, wouldn't it? Right? The Lord's going to give me this. I'm going to go home today, and listen, I'm here to tell you, I look for a check in the mail every day. Now, listen, I'm not name it and claim it. I'm just praying there's a lost relative out there who's passed away that I didn't know that was loaded, and it's my turn. Amen? If the check's big enough, we'll put a new building right out here. Amen? I ain't going to hold on to it. I'm going to turn it loose. I promise you. He said, labor not for the meat which perishes, but for that meat which endureth to everlasting life. Now, do you think they're grabbing hold of that? Now, he's giving them some strong doctrine. They go, say what? Look, I have some cornbread and some fish. Yes, you did a few miracles. That was pretty cool. I like that. That was good. But I really like that cornbread, man. The cornbread and the fish was off the chain. I want to know when I can get more cornbread and more fish. They're not even thinking about eternity. They're not thinking about everlasting life. Now, he didn't come to open up a buffet. Okay? His purpose, he did not come to heal, but to seek and to save that which was lost. Now, why are we here? What's the Great Commission? Jerusalem, Judea, everywhere, preach the gospel. Why? Because people need to be born again. People need to be saved. He said, now I'm trying to teach you something. Now, as he's marching on his way to Calvary, he's telling people who he is. Now, God is moving in a supernatural way because Jesus is God. He's moving in a supernatural, but in the will of the Father and the presence of the Spirit of God there. And he says, labor not for the meat which perishes, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you, for him that God the Father sealed. Now, what did he tell the woman at the well? He said, if you drink of this water, you will thirst again. You got to come out there at 12. You got a big old water bucket. You go out there, set the water bucket down. You throw the other little bucket in there. It goes down to the bottom. You pull it up. You dip it in that one. You just drop it back down again. You pull it up. You throw the water in there. Then you got to go back to town where everybody hates you, right? And you got your water. And guess what? You get to do that every day. Because that's drinking water, that's dishwashing water, that's washing you water. Right? All those things is what you toting on a stick. She's probably got 2 jars and a stick. If she had 1 jar and a stick, what would happen? She'd always go right? Just seeing if you're paying attention. So she got 2 water jars. And Jesus says, look, you keep coming here. You live in this lifestyle. In essence, if you look at the whole story, you keep coming here, but you're never satisfied. You have to come here physically, but it doesn't satisfy. You're going to have to keep coming. But he said,